it's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on Wednesday night. You will notice that my handsome co-host is missing right now. I don't know where he is, but he'll be here soon, I'm sure. I hope he's
I'm
okay.
right here.
Oh God.
I have returned for flexes.
That's so
not
disturbing, isn't it?
That's definitely not him. Wow. But I am joined with two very special people. I love these people. I've hung out with Lorena so many times, and Fat Steven I've hung out with a bunch of times, and it's always just so much fun to hang out with Fat Steven because he just somehow he makes everything funny. And
is it because I'm fat?
He does.
Yes.
Part of it, yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a part of it. But Lorena's just so special. We started out this kind of YouTube journey together. At the same time, I feel like you were just a little bit ahead of me, like a couple of months, and then we started out on the Queen's Council, her and Christy and Mad's Mama Bear. And it was cool. It was cool to get to know her, and now we do Toxic Femme together as well as the Queen's Council. So
exactly.
I'm really happy that you're here tonight and hanging out on my channel. I think it's the first time you're on my channel.
Yes. Yeah, it is. I think the other time I was on with you, but I was over actually on John's channel.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Well, at least, I mean, we hang out together on my channel when it's Queen's Council, but I mean, like,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But not just like here. I'm on, on Infinite Talk this time.
Exactly. So this is going to be a fun show. For those that don't know, please tell everyone where they can find you, Lorena.
Yes, folks. Hello, I'm Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis and keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. So you can find me causing all kinds of mischief on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, and of course, you can find me on YouTube. So check me out.
And also her channel, as well as Fat Steven's channel, is in the description down below. So make sure you are subscribed because some awesome stuff going on both their channels. Fat Steven, please tell everyone where they can find you.
I'm literally chewing. Give me 20 seconds.
Of course you are. Of course
Take your time.
I'm sorry.
He's eating because he's fat.
Yeah, and I'm hungry. Well, you can find me definitely on YouTube, taking up 90% of the bandwidth. I usually do Gaming with Community and with friends. I have a Babylon 5 show. I have the shows that made us on Wednesdays, which we just finished up, and Orville joins us. Every Fridays, it's usually with the lunch table on Lorena's channel. It's been going almost a year now. Not live noon Eastern. We also have the Welcome to Florida every Sunday on her channel. We then have Gaming with Ords usually on Fridays, Wednesday nights, and Sunday nights. I am all over the place pretty much. I'm just there.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
You can find me on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Weight Watchers.
I think I put your Twitter in the description, but not the Weight Watchers. Definitely not that.
Usually just a chalkboard that I just keep adding points to, so I don't feel like I cheated.
Oh my goodness. 200 Watt Studios for $2 says, "Hey, pretty ladies, Steven, Lorena, glowing today."
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Lorena's always just knocking it out of the park with how she looks. I love how dedicated you are to your craft because it takes time and effort.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video on that one day of how long it takes for me to get to this, as opposed to how awful I look when I get up in the morning just to do work at home. Two completely different people.
I don't think you should put that video out, Lorena. It's like showing the behind the scenes. Like sometimes you don't want to know the movie magic.
I think to like a point, it's kind of like, hey, you don't see the man behind the curtain. You just get up to the curtain.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. That's right. I'm just going to say hello to several people in the chat here. We got Darth Hassor, who's joining us, Released, the McCracken.
I know these guys.
Some guy from Maine. We got Lorena's in the chat. Zero Rewind. Nathan Robinson's here. Hello, hello. Andrew, 46 and 2. We got Keith here. Wow. I'm about
Lots
16
of
in.
folks.
Matt Deckard is here. Lots of people are here. I think I saw Tom King is here. Feener, everybody. Tim Possible's here. Hey, Mr. Dallas. It's Chrissy's cousin.
Hello.
What's going on? Lorena, did you see? I don't know if you saw this or not. I'm just gonna start with like some entertainment stuff while we're waiting for John. I'm sure he'll get here at some point. I hope he's okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope so too.
This I saw and I was like, what? This came out already? Anne Boleyn is so dull that the lead's race is the only thing worth discussing as intended. Did you by any chance happen to check this out?
Oh my God.
I did not. And here's the main reason. Well, two reasons for that. One, I don't like it when people try to race swap historical characters. If you want to do an artistic interpretation like Hamilton, that's fine, because no one's taking that as history.
Sure.
But when you're trying to be this disingenuous, it's ridiculous. And it's obvious that you're pandering. Second part of that is my family's history, or specifically my family from England. So I've had some ancestors who've actually served in the Queen's and the King's court over in England.
So cool.
Specifically, yeah, I was shocked. I'm like, wow, it's freaking awesome. Yeah, he was actually one of my relatives, William Brewster, who was a passenger on the Mayflower. He served in the court of Queen Elizabeth.
That's amazing.
As well. So yeah, it's freaking awesome. I'm really proud of that. I absolutely love it. But to think, I look at that and I think this is a slap in the face to history and a slap in the face to that portion of my ancestry, point blank. It's why do this? It's obvious you have an agenda to do this. It's ridiculous.
I feel like even this title is just basically what it is that the only thing that they did this for is so that we would discuss the race thing. And that's.
But it's kind of like, why? There were Africans in England, in Elizabethan England at this point in time. Why couldn't they focus on that particular story? Like, I'll bring up another Star Series actually called The Spanish Princess, which did a much better job accurately portraying African immigrants who were in England during that period of time. Much more accurate about, the jobs that they held, the positions they held. Yeah, there's some of the discrimination that they ran up against at the same time, but the lives that they were able to forge. You have much more to talk about with that, despite their race. But what this tells me is that's the only thing you want to talk about. And it's one-dimensional, and it's really disingenuous. I mean,
it's weird.
How do you plead?
This is
Not
weird.
guilty.
I don't know what to say. Oh wait, are you guys hearing the audio?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just so.
This is cringe.
This is so cringe.
Promised me
And as a history aficionado, this really makes me angry.
It's just so weird. Like, it's so unnecessary.
Where's with the music?
I don't like that either.
It sounds like music from the BioShock Infinite soundtrack.
This is so getting claimed right now.
Yeah, but you can wield it out. But if they would have taken the path of, say, Hamilton, okay, I could let them get away with that because it's just an artistic reinterpretation. They could get off the hook for that, but they're passing this off as history. So what is so embarrassing about Anglo-Saxon history?
Well, they're saying like something like that Anne Boleyn had like African ancestry or something like that, like deep down the line, and therefore she could be interpreted as Black. But I'm like,
no,
really?
No. Anne Boleyn, when you're in the court like that, from what I understand, when you're in the English court like that, depending on who you were going to marry, they had to be able to trace your line back for generations.
Mhm.
So if there was somebody there that was African, I'm pretty sure they would have
They
pointed
would
that
have
out.
known. Yeah. I mean, it kind of happened with even like when I watched The Crown, they talked about how there was like that, line of mental illness, let's say, in like one
Oh
of the,
yeah,
the lines, and they knew, so they basically put them in that crazy home, and they were like, these people aren't related to us, because they know these things, they know everything about the lineage and
they
who's
know
getting in the family and who's not,
who's
and blah blah
not, who's
blah.
cousins, who's first cousins, who's second cousins, because all of them were related around that period of time.
Yeah, who's pure blood, and
Yeah, and
all that
all
kind
that.
of stuff.
They had to know exactly what your lines were. So they knew. They knew.
Oh my God. Shane G says Anne Boleyn's mom got around. No. Oh my God.
Around the
Not
world in
really.
90 days.
She did, but
She did. Yeah, she did.
she was notorious for that.
Yeah. Did you see the Tudors?
Oh yes, Lord. I love the Tudors.
Me
I
too.
abso-freaking love the Tudors. I got hooked
Me
from
too.
like day one.
Oh my God. That show was so good. And like Henry Cavill, I was like, oh yes.
Henry Cavill was quite delicious. Quite
Mhm.
delicious. I mean, I'm not super obsessed with him like Jason Momoa, but he was definitely good to look at in the Tudors. That's who I was
Same
looking
with
at.
the king dude. What was his name?
Jonathan Rhys-Davies.
Yes, that guy, man, he did such a good job in that show.
He was amazing.
He was so good.
He was
So good.
amazing. He portrayed sane Henry and crazy Henry. It was great.
It was great. Fat Steven, have you seen the Tudors?
Yeah, but usually they're wearing high heels and nylons and a short skirt, and they're usually dressed as a school teacher, and that's the wrong tutor, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't blame you, but yes, that's the wrong tutor.
I was like, what is he talking
I know. I'm like, where's he
about?
going? Okay.
What is
Okay.
happening here?
Yeah, he does that.
There was another race swap thing that happened that I wanted to talk to you about.
Starfire?
Well, that, but more recently, God, sorry, I have like a billion tabs. Okay, here it is.
You sound like
It
me.
was
I use a ton of tabs open.
I know. It's the Neil Gaiman response to criticism of race swap casting of Death in a Netflix series. I don't know if you guys are familiar about
Sandman.
the Sandman. Yeah. I'm not even familiar with the Sandman series, but I know this was like kind of a big deal last couple of days. So this is the original character, apparently. Death, super white girl. I mean, they didn't even color the freaking
Goth chick. That's
yeah.
what she looks like.
They didn't even color like the skin. Like it's literally like the page. It's like she's white.
Mhm.
And she's like a goth chick or whatever.
Yeah.
And now she's this lady, Kirby
Whoa.
Howell.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whatever. My question is, are they going to put like they, them, and she, her, and like their pronouns like in the movie like credits, like when the credits are rolling, it's like
I wouldn't put it past them
she,
because
her.
this is not something that used to be seen before when you put out, because these are all headshots, like literally they're headshots that they put out for auditions and all that kind of stuff, and you should just have the name and who they're being cast as. So this is new, adding their pronouns. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put it in the credits, because they're pushing the envelope as far as possible. It's not a far cry.
Yeah, I think that's the next thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if it starts with this. But this coming to us from Bounding into Comics kind of goes back and forth about what the creator was saying. So the Twitter users are like, Death is Black. Really, she was one of the most iconic characters. She was like a tiny Sui. What is this word?
Sui.
Sui? with a very white
Susie?
face. Susie? I don't even know what
Susie,
that
I
means.
see Susie, and I think so.
Sui. It's supposed to, I think it's a native tribe, and I think they're using the wrong IE at the end. Yeah, the
Yeah, I
Sui is
think so.
actually, yeah, it's actually a Dakota, are the groups of native tribes First American. Yeah, they're one of the First
Mhm.
Nations.
Oh. Well, with very
Lakota.
white hair or a very white face and very black clothes and post-punk hair. And he responded, if you think the endless have any specific human race or form, you've missed something in Sandman. Don't worry, watch the show. And then he kind of gets more and more defensive as the comments keep on coming. So no, Neil, it's not that easy. You made Death the way she looked in every story with a great personality to match. I'll give the character a shot, but this casting smacks of checking up of a box. Making Death black is just to make her black is beyond contemptuous. To which he came back with, which is why Kirby got the part. The ability to give us the great personality was important. The skin color of the actress auditioning for the role was not. Now, here's the thing. It's just that it's happening so often that most of us like just automatically go, oh, this is checking a box. And then when you have a poster where like, you know, there's pronouns like on the poster, it just seems like it's so woke. What are your ideas?
Here's my thing. I think this is being done so much to the point where we're extremely, I shouldn't say triggered, but yeah, I will. Triggered because they seem to do it just to do it. There used to be a time where if they did a race swap, like say, for example, Denzel Washington in The Equalizer, you know, they used, oh God, I'm blanking on his name. Crap, in Superman. Perry White. Okay. So they had race swap, they'd race swap Perry White, but it wasn't that they just race swapped them. They put a very, very well-known Black actor in his place. And I'm so sorry that I'm like blanking on this. I'm thinking Morpheus is going to hit me. Lawrence Fishburne. Okay. Lawrence Fishburne, because it was Lawrence freaking Fishburne. So nobody cared. And when they cast him, they didn't make a big deal that that's what his race was. But that was years ago. And they weren't shoving that type of thing down our throat. Now, Neil Gaiman's, his quote is actually accurate. It's valid. The skin color should not be important, but you're shoving this down our throats every time we turn around, so we can't see that. So I haven't seen the Sandman. I haven't seen that at all. And if the race is not important to it, I don't see why it can't be swapped. But given the context, if you're trying to say death and that's what you're doing, then you know I can kind of see why people are aggravated by it, but I don't think that the role couldn't be played by, like, say, someone who was Asian or someone who was Black. It doesn't really bother me.
There is one thing that if you scroll all the way up to the cast, to the cast right there.
Yeah.
See, I've heard bits and pieces of the Sandman thing, but what bothers me most of all is Clara from the Doctor Who that people start hating is in this cast. The only thing that's throwing me off from this whole thing is that face. Right already there, I'm already like,
for me, this too, right here, Patton
Which
Oswalt.
one? Who's that?
Oh no, I don't acknowledge his existence. He's just a douchebag. He's really
that's what I'm saying. Like Patton Oswalt threw me off like immediately. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me just take this banner off so people can see what we're talking about. But the Patton Oswalt thing threw me off, and then the Clara thing, I was like, no, just no. At the casting of this.
Did they do a 30 percentile for race? Am I seeing that right?
That's about it. But this is the thing. They keep doing this casting. They keep before it used to be like if there was a quote unquote race swap, there was a good reason. If it's a choice between talent, that's what it was. You know, nobody's really questioning it. Like, for example, nobody questioned the fact that, you know, they cast Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. Okay, because it's Lawrence freaking Fishburne. That's all we want to freaking see. And that's it. But they've been doing this to say, look how great we are. Look how
Look at the
interesting we
pictures.
are. Look at this. We have such a
And
diverse
the
cast.
pronouns
And the
this is-
pronouns. Nothing about their
Oh.
talent, nothing about what they've done, nothing about
Mm-mm.
previous things that they've worked on. You just
No.
want to push this and sell this based on the diversity or quote unquote racial or quote unquote sexual preference.
But there's a second win though to that whole casting, that the chart they gave you. You now have a template to play stupid celebrity bingo, and all you gotta do is wipe out all the faces and just start checking the name with the wipeout board.
That's
Every
actually a great
time they
idea.
do something, so you won't have enough
God, I
paper.
can't.
There's not enough rainforest for the amount of stupidity coming out of Hollywood. That's the problem. They-
This article kind of points out something though, that here, I mean, it kind of at the bottom here, they basically talk about how he himself basically came out against doing this kind of thing in the past. Like he said something about Batman. Okay, there it is. He tweeted, but the fan base are fans, and they like the source material because it's the source material they like. So if you do something else, you risk alienating the fans on the monumental scale. It's not Batman if he's now a news reporter in a yellow trench coat with a pet bat. So he himself knows this. Like he knows that when you have an iconic character, that it's so important to kind of like stick to that iconic character, which for him is apparently this character. But apparently he doesn't give two fucks, even though he says he gives all the fucks. But
oh wait, we can say fuck on the show?
oh yeah, of
Oh,
course.
fucking right. Fuck yeah, I've been holding in my fucks all night. Jesus Christ. I wanted to fucking say that so much.
Well, Fat
Sorry.
Steven is past 30 minutes, so
Oh yeah, but I'm playing with you, right? I want you don't you have to think about it. I have never dropped an F bomb.
That's true, because my show is different.
Yeah,
Like,
well, you
like
know, it's
Vigilante
funny.
has dropped more F bombs than that hot dog song off the Limp Bizkit album on our show.
Well, it's funny because when John is here, I try my best to keep it like level headed because he's so like, I'm trying to be like proper now and like not swear. And then once in a while he'll get really mad and he'll start swearing, and that's really funny.
The cop out is when you're swearing to have your pinky up on camera when you do it, like you're drinking tea. Just pinky up and just drop the F bombs.
Oh, like this? Okay, like
No, that's a
I don't
gang
have a
sign.
drink.
That's wrong.
No, you just
No, when
did
you
it.
have the cup, you're like,
that's a shaka.
I know. I just messed with her
You did a
totally. I just
shaka.
messed with her. That's all. I was
Gang
doing.
sign. That's funny. I'm like, I don't think that's in a gang sign ever.
oh
Anyway.
my god, I think this is what you're thinking of, but okay. Nathan Robinson, thank you so much for the $5. Says, as a huge fan of samurai movies and historic fiction like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, I'd be completely turned off to see a white guy in those.
I would have to agree.
Yeah,
On that
it's
point, because
weird.
the race is a fundamental part of that particular story. If you're talking about samurai, unless it's like, say, a story about a samurai who, let's say gaijin or foreigner
Mhm.
tries to conform. For example, and somebody said this in the chat, Snake Eyes. Okay,
Mhm.
Snake Eyes, who, God, I have so many freaking G.I. Joe comics. Snake Eyes was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy, okay,
Mhm.
who was never fully accepted in that particular samurai culture. And he trained like, I don't know what, because, Storm Shadow, who was Asian, was like his brother. They freaking hated each other. You never saw Storm Shadow's face at all. And now they've race swap Snake Eyes to now he's an Asian guy, and that completely blows away his everything. If you would have made Snake Eyes black, okay, I could do with that. If you would have made Snake Eyes a Native American, that would work, because the thing is, you have a foreigner who gets into this samurai culture. It's still a foreigner. change it. It just doesn't.
It's not the
It doesn't
same.
work. It's not the
Yeah.
same.
Oh,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Fat Steven. I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt you.
no, it's okay. I mean, that's too because I'm going to bring up two sad points in a weird way. Snake Eye still lives on. He's still wearing his mask in Fortnite. They treated him with the respect of the actual Hasbro, which was great. And he was just in the comic for the miniseries they're doing before the season drops. And the way they ended it is that he is an equal compared to fighting skills with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And they treat more care and everything than we're seeing coming out of mainstream. You think about this. This is Fortnite, what people mock. Yet they work with the writers and the creators of these characters, and they keep it to not only their canon, but who their legacy and lore was. Mainstream media in the film industry in Hollywood is more about making you look like a billboard. And that's where we have to see the difference in how video games seem to be maintained to a certain degree, while we're getting nothing but, as Lorena says, just a total whack of one thing just to do a thing that not even the 1% that you're waving to gives a fuck about.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I got wait. I started with Fortnite, and I think I killed 20 people in your chat. I am so sorry.
Oh, that's totally fine. Peter says, "Look at that great posture with that fancy new boom, Nina. It's all the support that you guys have been giving me. I'd like upgrade. This is what happens when you upgrade.
Isn't it wonderful when
So
you know
great.
they support your channel and it's like, and you can do stuff to upgrade, you know, your equipment. I've been like Scrooge McDuck sitting on the money because Amazon Prime Days is coming up.
No, they postponed it. We just got a notification today on Amazon.
For you guys in Canada?
Yep. Canada.
Yeah, it must be Canada.
What do you mean?
Here in the US, it's the 21st.
Canadian Prime Day has been postponed due to the usual excuses, like most mailmen that won't come up 2 flights of stairs now because they're afraid.
Oh, the coof thing?
Yeah, the coof thing.
Okay. Ours is still the 21st and the 21st and 22nd. So I got email about it.
Canada is just ridiculous right now.
It's just nuts we're doing to y'all.
Yeah, I know. I've been here 24/7 in full TTX. It's great.
Vagabond Ninja for $5. Thank you so much. Says Nathan, I agree. I couldn't finish the most recent 47 Ronin because Keanu Reeves just pulled me out of the movie. He just didn't fit. Oh, that's interesting. I have not seen that or read that. That is crazy.
I haven't, but
Fat Steven, are you familiar with this?
Yeah, and I will definitely respect that opinion. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Sorry, I dropped my phone, but I can respect that opinion and see that not everyone's going to have the same type of like or visual like grabbing or aesthetic when it comes to the attractive of the scene and the character, especially the main actor. But I liked it, but the apprehension for the first 20 to 30 minutes of getting to know his character, it was a little off-putting. But then I just said, I'm worried about just the fighting.
Is this like a comic book or is this?
It's a movie.
It's a movie?
47 Ronin. Why do
I believe it was a reboot or a remake. Reboot. 40.
I know Ronin. I think that I know that movie.
Watch this. Oh my gosh.
Let me see.
It's like John Wick as a samurai. That's pretty much
right. You're right. I remember this movie. And here, just for people who are like me, like, what are you guys talking about?
Wasn't there one previous to this one?
Well, there was Ronin, and that was different.
That's what I remember. That's what I remember.
Yeah,
that movie, Ronin.
I mean, I freaking love that movie. But I see what you mean about this.
Yeah, that just I know. I
love Keanu Reeves. Like, I love Keanu Reeves, but this wasn't one of my favorite ones. I was like,
no. If I'm seeing that, I should see Jet Li.
Yeah.
You can't see Jet Li. He's still battling himself through all the different universes of Jet Li.
Well, I mean, Jet Li might be a little too old, but somebody.
But somebody like that. Somebody who, I mean, I've been out of the martial arts movie game for a while, but I'm expecting to see a hot Asian martial arts actor.
Exactly.
That's what I'm expecting to see, and I don't see that. So that tells me I tap out.
We need more Asian hot actors that are martial art specialists.
Hell yeah!
Yes, we need that. We need that in our lives.
Yes, we do.
We need way more of that. Thank you so much for that $5, though.
I was gonna say, and thankfully, and none that complain about how hard the training is. Talking to you, actor playing Storm Shadow right now, is an Asian guy.
Oh my God.
Wait, I had a question. Is that the Robert Patterson of G.I. Joe right now?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
mhm.
Does he like put himself up there with like Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and all them too while not working out?
I don't know,
I
but
don't know if it's not working out, but dude sounded like he was crying every day because God forbid he should have to actually do martial arts.
do something.
Oh,
You know, actually train, like martial arts training.
Oh
do we
my
call
God.
him
You know?
do we call him Storm Cry or Cry Shadow?
I like Cry Shadow personally.
I like Storm Cry, but either way works.
Either one
How
works.
about Soy Shadow? Because
Ooh, that's a good one.
he's soy.
Soy Shadow.
That
What about
sounds
Tear Storm?
Tofu eyes.
Tear
I mean,
Storm. Chat, feel free to put your name suggestions for this
oh
person.
yeah, I would love to see what your chat comes up with.
Your Muslim uncle, thank you so much for the 100 sticker. Thank you very much.
Hey, Muslim uncle.
Appreciate all of you guys out there sending super chats and being here. So please smash that like, share the
Please
stream.
smash that like button.
We are going to get into some heavier topics. I was kind of waiting to see if John shows up. Now I'm getting worried about him. I hope he's okay. Yeah, so we're going to be getting into some heavier topics. So YouTube's probably going to not be sending out notifications for the stream at all. So yeah, share the stream. Sharing is caring. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here and for the super chats.
Thank you very much.
I like that one. That's
The other way you could try countering that, Nina, if the notifications aren't going out, do a week where you put one show on your community tab and see if they see the community tab and have a poll. Who sees your community tab more and who gets notifications more, and see where you're getting it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I will do that, Fat Steven.
Sorry, that was producer mode. My bad.
No worries. Remind me of that later, though, okay? Like, send me a DM or something. So we got Bitch Shadow.
Hey, Trey Michael.
Hey, Trey. We got Lazy Shadow. Tired Shadow. Fake Shadow.
I think I like Bitch Shadow.
I think I like Bitch Shadow.
I do like that one. That says it all.
What about Sensitive Shadow?
No, I like Soy Shadow better than that.
Soy Shadow.
I like that. I like Bitch Shadow.
Yeah, Bitch Shadow is pretty good. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, so far, Bitch Shadow is definitely.
I like Bitch Storm. That works too.
Philip says, I'm being followed by a Soy Shadow. I don't know if I'm. Shadow of Tears. Where are we? Shadow of Tears, Sleek says. Wow. Okay. Tokenize. Oh my gosh.
Tokenize. Oh, what?
Oh my goodness.
Last virtue signaling.
There was some other stuff going on in entertainment news. Like, did you guys hear about the whole Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's gonna be doing the whole TMNT.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Seth Rogen is gonna suck.
It is gonna suck.
So Seth Rogen's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie reboot set summer 2023 premiere.
I hate this so much.
I don't like his face. I want to punch his face. I don't know why. It's urge, dude.
I know why, because he's an asshole.
He's an asshole, and I wanted to punch my computer when he showed up in Muppets Now.
Oh.
And it was one of the worst. I'm like, why the heck is this dude even on? It's freaking suck.
No, Valiant. No.
Hey, Valiant.
He's not flipping this on me. No, you owe me $500. Don't start this crap.
You want to read it? You want to read it, Fat Steven?
Here's 10 pesos to love Fat Steven. He owes me nothing. Smiley face, laughy face. Hello, Nina and Lorena, two of the most beautiful women on YouTube, and the graceful yet articulate Fat Steven Seagal.
That's not what it says, but
I know.
okay.
I know. I wanted to
Thank
be
you
sorry.
so much, Valiant Renegade, for that $10. I really appreciate you. Wow.
Sorry about that.
Man, you guys so many people owe each other $500. Like,
I
what's
know.
going on?
Is that the denomination? Everybody owes everybody $500.
Yeah,
So
like I
it's
don't,
the
I
price
don't know
of
what's
a
going on with this $500. No one's paying up either.
not at all.
I'm just sick of Seth Rogen, you guys. Like Seth Rogen is just one.
Likewise. He's a douche canoe.
He is, and he's like on a nonstop Twitter battle with freaking what's it called?
Who?
The Texas governor Ted Cruz with Ted Cruz.
Oh, really? But yeah.
Yeah, just constantly calling him a fascist and this and that. And I'm like, dude, just give it a rest for 5 minutes.
Well, that's what these Hollywood hypocrites like to do, because you remember they're still sore from what happened in the last Texas Senate race. And they poured a lot of money into that. And you get these Hollywood people who, now that, before it used to be that you had a PR person speaking for you and you didn't even talk to the press. But now they have social media, they get out there and we can see the full idiocy of what's going on when it comes to them.
Can I ask a question to this though, for both of you?
Sure.
Do you think when he's on Twitter, he's sober or he's not sober? I'm wondering if the tweets are kind of differentiating depending on how much he smokes in a day.
I don't know if Seth Rogen's ever really sober, but because I think like weed is like a part of him now. Like I think it's just like who he is.
He's one with the weed.
Yeah, he's just one with the weed. He's just smoked so much that he's just become the weed now.
That beard is 100% indica right there.
100%.
Can I just say, when the actors were coked out, they were a lot more amicable to get along with. I'm just saying.
They were a lot more fun and creative too. That's the thing. Like we got way more creative animations when people were
passed
hopped
out
up on coke.
Yeah, just going.
I mean, this dude, like the other day I read that he like threw his longtime buddy under the bus, James Franco, because apparently some stuff has come out now about James Franco and some Me Too thing. And so he's like, I'm never gonna have anything to do with him again, and all like jokes are so problematic now, and just his entire attitude
makes me wonder.
Annoying.
He might be projecting. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because supposedly it wasn't the same article. He also apologized for the way he did that 17-year-old joke, calling like the phone call with Franco during that cancel culture stream as well. Yeah, so he's throwing shade and then apologizing for previous shade he did.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to say.
Smells like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. I didn't know. No, the dude protests too much.
I mean, and now he's going to be doing this with Cowabunga. Seth Rogen's highly anticipated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film has a premiere date. Rogen, who is producing the new CG film with his production company, Point Grey Pictures and Nickelodeon Animation Studios, announced on Twitter Tuesday that the reboot will hit theaters August 11th, 2023. The film will follow Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, a team of pizza-loving martial arts masters and mutant turtles who fight crime from their home in the sewers of New York City. Along with the release date of the new film, Rogen 39 shared an what? Imagine?
Your editor sucks, Yahoo.
Jesus. Is this supposed to be Image?
Yes.
Imogen?
Yes, they used the spell check wrong.
They also spelled something else wrong. What? Can you go up where it said mostly anticipated?
By who?
How is this highly anticipated?
I want to know by who exactly. I'm like, by who?
I didn't even in a premiere date. Why would we be excited about something if it's
Yeah, the premiere date.
No one's excited about this because everybody thinks Seth Rogen sucks now.
They think it sucks. And again, you're talking about Hollywood is just doing freaking reboots. They're not doing anything new.
No.
And it's like we've seen this rebooted. I didn't see the remake because I'm like, forget it. I just like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
It wasn't great. Hey,
It's like
Fatal
it was. Hey, Fatal.
I'm not a koala. For the right dollar, I will be. Hi, Fatal.
Because the first Ninja Turtle movies were fun. They were fun. They were fun, and they were, they didn't take themselves very seriously.
We got Vanilla Ice. Nick,
This
go Ninja,
is-
go Ninja, go.
Yeah, that was funny.
I love the original Ninja Turtle movies, and they were dark too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So this is what he posted. He
James
posted a
Avery?
page of Leonardo's
What?
like, I don't know what the hell is this.
I guess it's supposed to be science homework or something.
I don't know, but when I
Chemical
saw that
symbols. I don't see Leonardo doing chemistry.
Yeah, it says along
Leonardo
with the
was a
release date, the
painter.
new film Rogan 39 shared an image that appeared to be taken from Leonardo's notebook featuring all sorts of Easter eggs about the characters. Leo takes notes like I used to, Rogan captioned in the image. So that
so it's a self-insert. Get out of here. No. Okay, obviously, dude forgot. All right. All the turtles were named after famous Renaissance painters.
Yes.
So if this was like some cool looking urban art or something like that, I would buy it. But I don't freaking buy this.
No.
It's a self-insert.
The names are Curly, Larry, Mo, and Shemp, right?
Don't tell Tom that.
This is like TMNTE. Like TM is what? TMNTE. I don't get it.
And they're supposed to be chemical symbols, like on the periodic table. This is
but it's TMNT, right? So TMNTE. What the hell's the E?
What the frick is that?
Ego.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going on with that's what's going on with this crap.
God,
Is anyone excited? I don't think anyone's excited.
No one's excited about it. I'm not excited about this.
There's also a drawing of Leonardo's iconic sword, the chemical recipe of the genetic mutations that created the TMNT, and nod to April O'Neil's, the journalist who often helps the heroes in half shell during their time of need. I wonder who they're going to cast as
Shredder.
Tessa Thompson.
No, as
let me shut up because
I
might
think
actually
Larry
do
the
that.
Cable Guy as Shredder would be perfect, or April. I think Larry the Cable Guy should play April.
They're probably gonna race swap her.
Yeah, like I said, they're probably gonna drop Tessa Thompson in there.
Yeah, probably. Peter W, thank you so much for the $10. Says Part 2 Creole. I love when beautiful Black women say my name. No sarcasm.
Oh well, thank you, Peter W.
Oh, Part 1. We missed Part 1. Part 1. Steven, did you watch Seagal Cop Show?
I've seen a couple clips here or there. I was more stuck on, I think it was the Machina shorts where Steven Seagal was beating up random people when he didn't get his way.
Yeah.
There's also it's water went down the wrong way.
Okay. I thought you were doing what Seth Rogen's doing every other day.
Oh God, no. I have vape for that. Just kidding. But there was there's also the Mad TV skits where they had Fat Steven Seagal, and those were pretty good too.
Oh.
Never the cop show. He's a good shot though.
That's interesting.
I
haven't watched a lot of Seagal stuff. I'm not gonna be completely. I don't know. I don't know anything about Steven Seagal. I just know he looks like this all the time.
Well,
I just know I've seen him in movies, and when I was in LA, I knew somebody who went to the same temple that he did, or something like that. It was.
If you're really interested, if you're really interested, random people who follow me keep tagging me in articles about the real Steven Seagal, and I'm like, what the F is going on here? But yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my God, that's funny. Peter again for another $10 says Part 3. Nina, love the mic boom. Keep it how keep it how was the chocolate great stream. I need to bounce. Love you guys. Oh, well, thank you so much, Peter. That's awesome. And I
Hi,
love the
Peter.
chocolate. It was amazing.
You got chocolate?
Yeah,
What kind?
he super chatted me like $50 the other day and he was like, get the best chocolate that you can. So I went and got like amazing chocolate here that's like super expensive on Peter.
Ooh,
So
very
thank you.
nice.
Of course, milk chocolate, because I love milk chocolate. I just can't. I love dark chocolate too, but there's something about milk chocolate.
I like white chocolate. So whenever I go to the
Ooh.
Lindt outlet, it's like I see that and I just like pull it all off the shelf because it's
Ooh.
Lindt chocolate and Milka chocolate, which you can get like in certain supermarkets here if they import it. Oh my god, it's so freaking good.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to track that down. Lindt chocolate?
Yeah, Lindt. It is Belgian, and they make these
Oh.
truffles. Because what I found out is from the Lindt overseas that Americans like their chocolate kind of like mixed. So we have like all these cool flavors like coconut truffles and like mint with like chocolate on the outside. In Europe, they kind of just like the standard regular chocolate truffles, but we have like tons of them over here. They are so good. Oh my god.
If you're lucky and actually can get into one of their offices, like because we had them as a client, so we'd be constantly going in and out, picking up and dropping out packages. They usually have like these giant glass bowl, like big, like 2 feet like wide, and filled of like the single Lintts, all different colors. It's all free to go, grab, just in, out, go. So it's really easy to come in with fake packages and just get all the chocolate you need. Just out.
Oh.
They're good. They were on University and
oh, you know what? I corrected myself in my head as soon as I saw TD's comment. No, Lindt isn't Belgium; it's Switzerland.
Oh.
I just pictured the wrapper when it said Swiss on it. Yes, exactly. Because I used to get the big, huge bars like this freaking huge.
Oh my god, I love those ones.
Have you seen them? They're like
yes.
this big.
Yes.
I bought them in Germany because you cannot get them here in the States. So when I was in the Frankfurt airport, I bought like about 10 bars of those suckers and brought them back.
Oh, that's awesome. I buy those all the time, actually. They're really expensive here. That's one of the ones I bought, but the milk chocolate one is so good.
Yes. So I had milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and then most of them were the white chocolate. Didn't matter because it didn't last by the time I got home.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. But Peter, thank you so much for all the super chats. I hope you have a great night, and this is for you.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh my god.
I love RoboCop.
I love RoboCop so much. Darth says, Nina, you and John need to do a midnight hour stream tonight. Well, this is supposed to be our weekly stream. He's not here, but he's supposed to be here.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just like, where are you? Just at least text me and say you're alive. What? John probably thinks the stream is at 10. Oh, yeah, probably.
Nina was gracious enough to accommodate me.
I told him, I reminded him like 3 times that it's at 9 tonight. So he's I'm guessing, my best guess is that he's asleep. He overslept, like he was like went through his alarm, even though the alarm was like, wake up, John. And he didn't wake up. He was like, no, I'm not waking up. That's what happened. Yeah, John passed out. That's what happened. Probably. I hope so. I hope to God that he's asleep. Okay. Let's move on to, what was the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about? Okay, we covered Anne Boleyn, which I have to, because I have to close out tabs because I have a million tabs open. Oh, okay. Here's another thing that was related to TMNT. This came out, and Valiant Renegade, did I say his name right? I hope I did.
Yes.
He did a video about this. And I saw this tweeted out by Tom Connors at first. So shout out to Tom. But Valiant also did a video on this, which is some interesting stuff. The
Mhm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are allegedly at the center of a $2 billion tax fraud scheme. The
Really?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have just met their greatest foe yet, taxes, according to a report from the New York Times. Viacom, which owns the right to the Turtles along with Transformers and a slew of other intellectual property, is under intense scrutiny
Mhm.
after a Dutch nonprofit alleged that the media conglomerate has been going to great lengths to avoiding paying U.S. taxes, the U.S. government billions in taxes, by using convoluted loopholes when it attributed revenues from the blockbuster franchises to foreign entities. As the
Mhm.
Times explained, a former Viacom employee sued for rationale. What was it?
Retaliatory
Yeah,
firing.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no
After
problem.
she objected to the practice in 2016, but both parties eventually settled and sealed the terms of their agreement. However, details of the lawsuit have now been made public, which paints a picture of an alleged tax scheme. Now I'm not going to. I guess I
I'm
can read this.
wondering
This is long.
what made it so that it got unsealed.
I
Pizza.
wonder too.
That's what I want to know. It's like, what happened that they had to go back and unseal these records? I would like to know what that is.
It's pizza.
It's pizza
It's pizza
Well, a Ninja Turtle. So.
because pizza.
because pizza.
Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles. That's how it's called.
Yes.
People are
It's
happy to
pizza.
see you.
Hello. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is pizza because it says in the suit, the executive accused Viacom of hatching a plan. It sounds so sinister. Like, what's the
Hatchet.
bad guys in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called? The
Shredder.
dude- Shredder, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like Shredder's ultimate plan
Yes.
to evade taxes. In the suit, the executive accused Viacom of hatching a plan to attribute the revenue from the popular franchise Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the Netherlands for tax
Mhm.
advantages, while the rights to the franchise are owned by a Dutch entity. All of the business
Mhm.
concerning those rights took place in New York. The suit read, the sole purpose of transferring the licensing rights to the Netherlands company was to avoid the U.S. tax burden. The suit added. The study
What?
noted that Viacom transferred its intellectual property rights to a subsidiary in Britain in 2015 while keeping the Dutch entities operating as a sub-branch of the British unit as the jumping off point for selling foreign rights. The transfer is essentially a sale from Viacom subsidiary to another created a tax benefit, the study said. The transaction was worth $1.8 billion, according to the company records cited by the study, a sum it can amortize over many years. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Here's my thing. So they're claiming that they owe U.S. taxes on it because the business of it took place in New York. Here's my thing. Was it that they just discussed it in New York, or did they actually sign contracts or something like that in New York? Because that's the fuzzy part that I'm seeing. I mean, I don't know tax law, but I would, it's kind of like if I'm a foreign country and say I'm going to meet some people in New York to have dinner and discuss business and hammer out a deal and then go back. Do I owe taxes just because I did that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
John.
Hi, John.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I just woke up. I accidentally fell asleep. And
We guessed
No,
right.
I'm so glad you're okay. That's all I care
Yeah,
about.
we were worried about you.
I was just so worried about you. I was like, oh my God, is he okay? Like, where is he?
no, I was out. I've been getting up. My sleep schedule's actually been quite early. And yeah, I
You're just
didn't,
out.
but I didn't get enough sleep either. So I just woke up early. I don't know.
Poor
So-
John. It's okay. You're here. I'm just glad you're okay.
Yeah.
John, people have been wondering where you were. That's all. There you are. LOL, John.
I'm alive.
I
He's
said I
alive.
told you.
I should have made some coffee, but
he's
actually
asleep.
probably shouldn't have.
Well, go get
No.
coffee if you want.
No.
Get some.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yes. Yes.
Felson's like looking fresh, John. Hi, Belson. It's good to see you.
Hello.
Fresh brew. Yeah, go get coffee if you want. Makini 90. Oh,
Hey,
thank you so
Makini.
much for the super sticker.
Shiba
Wait,
Inu dog with the
what is
farting
it?
hearts.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you, Makini. You're
One of
so
my favorites.
so sweet. Good evening, John. Everyone's here. Everyone's happy to see you, especially me, because I was like, oh my god, where is he? I feel like such a mom right now. Like, that bastard didn't text me. John needs coffee.
I don't know. Do moms call their kids bastards?
Yes.
I feel like that's more of that's something else.
My sister sometimes call her kids little S words.
I've been there.
Little shit.
not where they can
That's-
hear them or anything like that,
Oh,
but
no,
I
I
have
got-
heard her drop that.
Wait. I had to hear it. How come they didn't? What the hell?
'Cause she-
What?
Yeah, my dad was brutal sometimes.
Oh dang!
Pat Steven, you're so far away. I can barely hear you. Is it
So
just me?
far away from
Volumes down.
I didn't want to get too
So
close to the mic
far.
because then I sound weird.
No, you sound great
Yeah,
now.
so fun. We
Uh,
can hear you.
I can hear me too, and I'm trying to find earplugs.
Oh, hey, Fat Steven, did you hear about this? This is Canadian news. Kind of.
I haven't turned on the TV and looked at Canadian news in about 5 months now.
Well, it's kind of Canadian news because it's about the Canada arm.
Oh no! What?
Yeah, so Lucky Strike space debris punched hole in the robotic arm of International Space Station, the famous Canada arm. A piece of orbital debris crashed into the robotic arm on the International Space Station, blasting a hole through the high-tech equipment in what Canada's space agency deemed an unlikely collision. The space junk slammed into ISS Canada Arm 2 in mid-May, the Canadian agency confirmed in a press release last week, noting that while the utmost precautions are taken to avoid collisions, impacts with tiny objects do occur. One such hit was noticed recently during a routine inspection of the Canada Arm 2 on May 12th. The CSA said, though added that the arm continued to function without issue. But they don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, I can speak to this a little bit since I was a research assistant at NASA. Yeah, when I was in grad school. Yeah, space junk is a huge issue. They expect it, you know, they expect it to happen. There's all kinds of trash, you know, floating around out there. So yeah, it's kind of, it's, you know, it's jacked up when it happens, especially seeing that hole in that thermal blanket right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it happens. It's not out of the ordinary. It's like the crap.
There's
We
so
knew
much
it would
there's
happen.
so much phrasing going on right now.
Hey, phrasing!
I
I
don't
didn't do that on purpose. Trust me.
know. Long arms, holes. I don't know what's going on. Hi, Cashy Queen. Hey, Amber.
hello.
Blame Canada, people are saying.
Okay, well then I won't talk about why the space program is responsible for Astroglide, but that can be a story for another time.
No, I would
Let's
like
go
you to
into
talk
that
about
one.
it. Please
That-
expand on that.
Let's go to Astroglide. That sounds like a smooth.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, since you have like all this intricate, you know, parts up there and everything. And, you know, you want to make sure the parts are lubricated and that can function in 0G.
Oh my God, I'm
We're
dying.
talking about
Lorena, I'm dying.
You know, space junk, lubrication.
Yeah.
I just can't. I just have to acknowledge it.
I know. I'm
So,
dying over here.
yes.
Usually
I'm
Nina's
trying-
like,
I'm trying to be mature. I'm trying to be mature. but
One
I'm
of the
like-
most famous technology transfers to thank the space program for, besides Velcro, is Astroglide.
It helps getting the shaft really slick.
Does the skin look red and swollen?
That's what she said.
That's my joke. Damn it, Dwight.
Yeah, that's a true story.
thank you, NASA.
Thank an engineer. There you go.
I'm so glad that I brought up this situation because I kind of forgot that you worked for
robot.
NASA.
You brought up a robot arm and lube. It's you can't have a better night.
This is an amazing stream.
Dirty.
Yeah.
19K Fox, continue, Lorena. I like the way you work it.
Thank you, my dear.
Wow. Oh my God, this is amazing. Any further comments or details about this hole and this arm and anything else?
I had something, but I think it's too far to say on TV right now, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
What? I can barely hear you. Yeah.
I had something, but it was just a worse joke than the one we already had, so I decided to let it go.
Aw, that's too bad. No diggity. Mary says, "What did I just walk in on?" Hey, Mary, we're talking about how some sort of space debris punched a hole in the robotic arm. The
Space junk.
national pride of Canada.
Yeah.
When we're growing up in Canada in school, this is the only thing that they really talk about in
space
science.
arm.
It's
Yeah.
the space arm.
I've seen it
There was the
like
Aero
live and
project.
in person. The Canadian Space Agency, and the European Space Agency.
Yeah, it's their pride and joy, that arm.
That arm.
I remember,
Literally.
like, when we were studying it in school, I'd be like, I want to do my project on like the biggest rocket, like the either the States have made
Mhm.
or Russia or whatever. And my teacher was like, "No, we're studying the Canadian arm," and I'm like, "I don't care about the freaking arm.
You want
I
the
wanna know
Saturn
about
V rocket?
But it's their pride and joy over there, and now it's got a hole in it. Go
Yeah.
fix it. Go fix it, Canada.
Space junk.
Space junk.
Yeah.
Well, space junk is like a problem. They're trying to figure out how to get rid of all the space junk up there.
It is a
Um,
huge problem because they try to make sure that there isn't any junk in the orbiter itself. Yes, I
Mhm.
know I'm off with my phrasing, but literally, this is what they say.
Yeah.
At NASA. So yeah, that's a huge issue.
Well, I mean, that kind of happened like a couple of I want to say a month ago now, with the whole Chinese satellite thing that was like basically like gonna explode and come down because of the debris. Yeah, that was also because of the debris up there that
Thanks,
happened.
China.
Yeah, thanks, China.
Yeah, you didn't
Something else.
insulate your stuff well enough.
Oh my
They
God.
have a freaking satellite that could have, I don't know, came down and hit somebody. They start COVID.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know, there's no consequences either. You could just have a pandemic originate in your country, and I guess kill a ton of people, and that's I don't know.
But don't say that's where it came from, because that's racist.
Yeah, God, John.
Don't even have a theory that it might came out of a lab. And
Yeah.
No. They'll blame you because
Misogyny.
He's super white.
that's why.
I love King and Hill.
Orange.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad that you're here because now we can get to the real juicy stuff that's come out today.
It's juicy, guys.
It's juicy.
Yes.
The Fauci emails. Dun dun dun. Oh my God.
Actually,
God, I hate that guy so much.
He's such
you-
a. Oh.
Yeah, I think I have somebody. If you actually you want that sound effect, I actually have something.
Do you? I can
Yeah.
barely hear you, so you can play the
Hold on
sound.
here.
effect.
I put it in your video share, see if it works for you, so you can have that sound.
Okay, hold on.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's
That's it.
awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I
that's
need
it.
that. I need that video for sure. I need that sound. But Mr. Fauci here, Dr. Fauci, thousands of emails from and to Fauci during the pandemic's early days were published.
This yucks.
Yeah, no kidding. So here's the thing. Well, first of all, let me get your thoughts on this. John, do you have any thoughts on this? I'm sure you've been keeping up with what's going on.
Actually, I don't know about these email.
You don't know
email
about what's
stuff.
going on? Okay,
No.
well, the emails are basically like everything that we've been talking about for the past year, John. Like how he's in touch with Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and like all, all the big honchos, and how basically he tells them what narrative to put out and they do. And basically that he was saying back in, the early days of the pandemic that, the mask thing is not necessary. And now he's basically, saying the opposite. And of course, the biggest thing is that he was denying the origin of the virus, right?
Yeah.
The Wuhan lab, which is now clear that pretty much that it's originated from there. So the WHO officials with ties to Wuhan coronavirus research thanked Fauci for dispelling myth that COVID leaked from the lab and emails revealed.
Wow.
So, there's
That's
a
a
ton
real
of
piece of-
information.
Isn't he?
Yeah, there's a ton of information coming out. Most of it that are coming out, though, I feel like John and I have been talking about for the past year. Like literally all the stuff that have been released now through the emails are stuff that we've talked about. Like the mask thing, like how he's such a hypocrite and just, goes back and forth like every 5 minutes. It's like another thing. And it's just instantly
He kept
demonetized.
moving the darn goalposts.
Yes.
That's that's the impression that I got. It seemed like every time he would talk, like, oh, we have to, do this instead. For it was like 15 days to stop the spread. And then that got pushed out and that got pushed out. And then double mask, goodness gracious, Lord, they didn't know.
People are just not gonna. It's just they're not gonna. They can only take so much before it leads to some sort of.
Absolutely, because here in Pennsylvania we had a primary recently, and there was a ballot question about stripping Governor Wolf, King Wolf, he thinks himself as, of his emergency powers, and it passed by a much smaller margin than it should have, but it did. And it's just, people are they're just sick and tired of it. They're just tired of, it's not a law, but they're trying to enforce it like it is. And people are just like, I freaking had it.
Yeah, and you had basically the mainstream media trying to spin this, like Tim Pool saying here that Anthony Fauci's emails revealed the pressure that fell on one man.
Oh gosh, get out of here!
Give me a break.
Get out of here! He loved it.
He loved being in the spotlight, because his quote unquote fights with Governor DeSantis in Florida were freaking legendary. Because I was in Florida twice, once in the summer and then once in December, and all of the press about Florida's killing people and people aren't doing this and people aren't doing that and the COVID numbers are expanding and you need to close the beaches and all this crap. And DeSantis is like, Floridians have to work. People need to work. We need to do common sense things, but not give into this pandemic freaking fear that's going on. And it's like in Pennsylvania, that's what it was like. But in Florida, people were doing common sense stuff. Yeah. And people weren't freaking out. And even like out in the countryside where, out in the middle of nowhere where my relatives lived at, people weren't doing mask mandates and crap. Not out there, in the country. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the press in Florida, which, they've been crap for years, but they're even more crap now, especially the Sentinel and the Miami Herald. They're always dumping on DeSantis. Yeah. About you're killing people and all of that. And I want to say about was it a month ago? No, it wasn't a month ago, because it was around December when the Orange County, I guess the top health official, said something about the reinfection rate was like 80%. Turns out it was like 8%. How do you make a freaking mistake like that?
I remember that. And
then classified someone who died in a motorcycle accident as COVID. And I said, well, how can you say that? Well, you don't know that it wasn't COVID. It's just like, you can't prove
freaking morons.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's
I
what people
remember
just
that.
like forget this ish. And I think
I
that was
was-
right around December, and people were like, we have freaking had it.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this on Infinite Talk on one of the earlier ones, and we were talking about like the dude probably sneezed, and then he crashed his bike, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, he died of COVID." Yeah, it was like
COVID.
sneeze.
Yeah, every death is somebody gets in an accident. It was COVID.
Mhm.
It's like
Car
Yeah.
accidents, whatever have you. Abu Nas for $5. Thank you so
Hey,
much. Says, the
Abu.
real
Hey, what's up, Abu?
fantastic for sending my love and admiration for you all. Keep bringing the heat for the fandom. I'm all of y'all's biggest fans, and
Hey,
oh my god,
Abu.
thank you, Abu
brother.
So good
Nas.
seeing ya.
Thank you so much for that. $5, Abu.
Damn.
But the interesting part, though, of all this is that this is like basically the mainstream headlines that are coming out with, Fauci's trying to be Fauci's like, rescuer, and he had to deal with so much shit from Trump because Trump sucks, and he was like the only voice of reason, and so much pressure fell on him. And then, you had people basically pointing out that that the dude has been full of shit for a long time. Like, and it's just been going on and on. Like Quarterback Garrett posted this. If you listen to this man actually believe and follow his rules, you're a moron and a sucker. And this is what he had to say.
Absolutely.
Fauci, April 2021 to May 2021.
You are vaccinated. Please remember that you still have to be careful and not get involved in crowded situations, particularly indoors where people are not wearing masks.
That places such as grocery stores, pharmacies, whatever, should allow vaccinated people to come in and shop without masks.
Oh, yes. You are vaccinated. Please remember that you still have to be careful and not get involved in crowded situations, particularly indoors where people are not wearing masks.
That places such as grocery stores, pharmacies,
So yeah,
whatever,
that was
should allow
that's the kind of stuff that people have been posting now. And then of course there was stuff like this that I came across. Hold on one second. I have like something is going off in my ear and I don't know what it is. Oh my
Probably an
God.
advertisement.
I have so many
from-
links open. I don't know which one it is.
You have a page playing?
Yeah.
Something playing?
My God.
Mary says she hears ducks quacking. Mary Nicholson.
Really? I don't hear
I don't hear anything. That's
Oh
that's why.
no. What is talking to me?
Your television
I
set.
don't know. Anyways, Fauci's full of shit. Even though I can't find what the hell's going on. It has to be this article. There we go.
He's completely full of it. He's kind of reminds me of like the TV weatherman. He's not a meteorologist. He's just an actor.
Mm-hmm.
just
Somebody said
he's
blame
told.
COVID. Yeah, I hear things. I blame COVID. Mary says I was calling Fauci a quack, John.
Oh,
okay.
there you go. Yeah, he's quack. All right.
Now, my thing is that the other part of it is that they're coming out and saying that Fauci had all this connection with Mark Zuckerberg and all these big Bill Gates and all these people that were in the emails, and they're discussing how they should handle COVID and how they should handle all this stuff. And then you have, at the same time that this is happening, I came across this interview of a world-renowned doctor who blows lit off the COOF thing. So his name is Dr. Peter McCullough. McCullough, yeah, thank you. And I'm not even going to play this, you guys, because this is like an immediate strike off the channel. I'm not even going to keep this on the stream, on the screen for that long, because the stuff that this guy talks about is kind of next level. And the kind of stuff that he talks about is basically how there was definitely preemptive stuff that they could have done without it being to a point where patients had to be hospitalized. There's all this different stuff. Yes, he is in Texas. He is a Texan doctor.
Okay.
And he just like, I mean, he just kind of lays it down in the most incredible way possible. And where I'm coming at with this is that right now we have Fauci coming in after this whole email leak, and
Mhm.
his excuse about the masks and all the stuff that everybody's calling him a hypocrite about is that the science changed and I followed the science. And my thing is, if you're following the science, then why can't we follow the science for all the opposition? For every single doctor that has come out and said something that's been the opposite of what Dr. Fauci has said. And then we have big companies like Google, Facebook,
Mhm.
Twitter, just censoring everybody. I can't even talk. I can't even play that video right now because I'm going to get struck. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts about all that? Let's start with John. John, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I we've talked about this so many times, but I agree. It's like if we're going to talk about, if the science is always, if his excuse is the science is changing, we've got new data, et cetera, et cetera. Which again, it's just like, well, how reliable in terms then how reliable is the science? Because we had this science before saying, well, this is. This is this, and now we've got new science and everything's changed. And when does it get to a point where, science is just something that's been used over and over again as a means to, it seems like it's like only the science from one man that is valid. That's it. If it's Fauci, it's fine if the science changes with him and everything, and that's the only science that we can accept. But God forbid anybody else have any scientific information that is a doctor on this and disagrees with him. We have to censor the hell out of them. And we've seen that happen where doctors had their videos taken down and they weren't allowed. They weren't, apparently their opinion isn't as valid. Yeah, you got flip-flop Fauci, who's just been flopping all over like a fish. And apparently that science is valid.
Yeah, and this doctor was one of them. He was one of the people who got censored because he's one of the first people who had the study come out about certain things that he's done. And he was censored off YouTube. He was censored off many places. And then the Senate contacted him, and he went to the Senate and he talked about all this stuff. But yeah, please share your thoughts, Lorena.
The thing that cracks me up when I hear them talking about the science should be able to stand up to scrutiny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing with the whole, climate change thing. It's just like, unless you have the right science, it's okay. But if you criticize it, then all of a sudden that's a problem. So true science is able to stand up to scrutiny. And they won't allow that to happen. Because speaking of the doctors, I remember there was one doctor, I think he was in California, and he had a press conference, that he put up on YouTube because he was saying, I'm a doctor. This is what I am seeing every day. And this is what works and this is what doesn't. And he was talking about, masks not being,
You're talking about Dr.
No.
Erickson. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that. And then that got yanked. That got yanked down. Another doctor, I don't remember who she was. Yeah, because she was a Nigerian doctor. And I think Crowder had a video that he put up of her, and she was talking about treating her patients with hydroxychloroquine, I think. And she was saying, I tell my patients when they come down with COVID, we're not going to panic. We do have a treatment to use. This is something that has a very high survival rate. We're going to do whatever we can to help you, and we're going to start treatment with this. Well, we had some kind of left-wing wacko nut job basically tell her in so many words she wasn't Black because she didn't deal with, agree with, the whole.
The thing that they came down on her, though, was that she had questionable theories about how like demons can enter your dreams, and that's
that's kind of those things where I keep people's spiritual ideas
yeah.
separate from
But
that
that's
kind of
where they
thing.
got her, because otherwise she was fine. It's just that she had these really wacky ideas where like she thought that people's birth what's it called, like women who are infertile, it was caused because like demons had come into their dreams and blah
That's
blah
true.
blah.
But then again, another thing that people didn't understand, and that's why I thought it was kind of disingenuous that they were dinging her for that. They are disrespecting someone's culture that way.
Yes, they are.
And actually it's reprehensible that they went and did that, because I actually do know some people from some foreign countries, especially in Nigeria. That's a real thing.
Yeah, that is a real
them,
thing.
a lot of them
I actually believe in that kind of stuff too. Like, I mean, meaning like I believe that some people, think that spirituality and certain things can affect you through dreams, and it happens in a lot of culture that
a lot of
believe
them.
in that kind of stuff.
But it was I just thought it was it wasn't surprising, because this is the kind of stuff that they do, that they went after that just to discredit her. Like
interestingly too, that's the thing. It's not that people are doing any studies about that kind of thing, because, had they been doing actual scientific studies on there, I mean, who knows what the scientific study would show, but you can't discredit someone based on the fact that it just sounds crazy what they're saying. Well, it's, do a study on it, and then you'll be able to actually, battle it with actual hard facts versus, oh, you just sound nuts because you're nuts. Right?
Exactly. And the thing that cracks me up is, you have people, it's like, I just believe, masks aren't effective. It's like ridiculous. You think particles are going to stop because of a piece of cloth? I don't think so. Like, like viruses are going to go around a mask, say, "Ooh, I see a mask." I'm not going to go that way. No, that's ridiculous, and it doesn't make any scientific sense. But if you bring that up, all of a sudden, oh, you're an anti-masker, you're this, you're that. It's just like, no, that's my interpretation.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat Steven, do you have anything to add to this?
No, I kind of turned myself out of the whole Coof thing a while back. Like when I stopped news, I literally stopped news. Every channel just didn't care anymore. And the way this is looking, if it's even being shown in mainstream media that the guy can't keep a straight pace, why isn't he at least giving small updates like they love having every day, most politicians do, and just saying, hey, this is now a little bit more bendable, and they can fluctuate the laws with them. Make everyone ease out at the same time. They had an actual stable plan in it, though. Do you know what I mean? Though he might be a douchebag, but he could have done a little bit more transparency with the transitions. You know what I'm talking about?
Who are you talking about?
Fauci.
Oh, Fauci. Okay.
Yeah. I think he could have made a better lie, is what I'm saying, and he didn't do good enough.
He didn't stick with the con.
No, he didn't. Yeah, but he was like,
but that's true. He didn't. If you're gonna do a great con job, you have to stick with the con.
That's true.
I learned that from reading Dinesh D'Souza's book when he was talking about when he was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a really good book where he was talking about it. And he said he learned from, real con artists. You never give up con. Ever. You stick with it.
There's a lot of like old quotes like that, like the old timey, if you tell a lie, you have to tell it enough to everyone for everyone to believe it. And it's just there's so many different ones, because most of these people are like pathological liars. It's just you have to you have to stick with that lie and just keep going. Like, don't deviate from the plan
with a little grain of truth to make it credible.
Exactly.
Well, Joe Biden's speech today was again pushing everybody to get vaccinated, saying younger people got to get vaccinated. They're giving away a bunch of free stuff too.
That's what this doctor was saying too, that in places like, I forget which state it was. I want to say Georgia, but don't quote me, because I forget which exactly. But he was saying that there was a state that has made it okay now for 12-year-olds to decide whether they want to get the vaccine or not. So like, this is what he's talking about, that this has all been leading to just mass vaccinating the population, and having them accepted as the path forward kind of thing.
Here's my thing, and I'm already skeptical because I had to do work in clinical trials, IT work in clinical trials. Granted, this vaccine by these 3 different vendors got put literally on the fast track to get completed compared to traditional vaccines. I understand why that had to be done, but we don't know the effects further down the road of that. I could see where people where the benefits for really outweigh the risks. I can understand that, especially with those who are elderly, especially those who work in the health field. I can understand that. But why are you going to put what's basically an experimental vaccine into your body and you don't know what it does?
Well, not only that, Lorena, and again, as this doctor was explaining in this video, not only that, they didn't test the vaccine on pregnant women, for example. So in their clinical trials, they didn't test it out. But then when they released it to the public, they said it's safe for pregnant women to get vaccinated, and they have been vaccinating pregnant women. And he says that this has never been done before. You never, ever, ever, basically, no matter what kind of drug it is, whether it's a vaccine or a pill or whatever, no matter what kind of drug it is, you don't give it to a group of people that you have not tested it on. You just don't. This has just never been done.
You don't. You never do. And that's the discipline of clinical trials, because we don't want a repeat, of the Tuskegee experiment. If you don't know what that is, go look up what that is, because we have a history in this country before there was the strict oversight of clinical trials, the types of things that happened to people. You know, with the Tuskegee experiment, you had Black men who thought they were getting treated for syphilis. They did nothing. They were just giving them basically placebos, and they were taking this, back to their wives, and spreading it. And they didn't know that. And they were just basically letting them deteriorate due to syphilis just so they could study them.
Wow.
Our clinical trial process is set up to protect the people who are participating in the trials. You need consent from them. You need to let them know as transparent as possible the side effects that can happen. They have to be monitored regularly.
Well,
if something happens, they need to contact them as soon as possible.
That's the other thing that he was saying, is that because this is still a trial run, when you go get your vax right now, they give you a consent form. Like, they make you sign one that says that, that you're taking an experimental drug, that you could have an adverse effect either from pain in the arm all up till to death. Like, you could die from this if you take it. They tell you up
Biden
front.
said it was safe today. He said it was safe for,
God.
It's like, that's what I get. They're pushing for this, but like, God forbid, what if stuff happens to some people? Because it does. I was watching The Simpsons too, because I was trying to find a clip for today's video.
That was amazing. I saw that.
Well, there was even more stuff in there that was, Bart has an adverse reaction to. I might wind up using this in another video, where Bart winds up having an adverse reaction to a shot. He goes deaf, and then the doctor hands Marge and Homer a pamphlet saying,
pamphlet?
I'm like, it's too early, or rather it's too late.
I know.
But like, it was something about your kid, like accidental death of a kid, and due to a shot, or what was like a inoculation or whatever. And it was but I forgot what he told them, but it's like, oh, that's no big deal. But the pamphlet says like, yeah, your kid might die. Like,
oh my God.
So
that's what's going on right now.
It's so, I don't know. It's just like, they can't guarantee that nothing will happen, because Joe Biden can go on camera and say it's safe for everyone, or it's safe for you. It's like, but every now and then people die from this thing.
They do. And nothing is without its risk. You can't even take what the heck is that stuff called? You can't even take Benadryl without looking and seeing that there's a risk on there. If you take that particular medication, and they act as if it's no big deal to take this, experimental vaccine. It is a big deal. It's not something that's been studied for 10 years, 15 years, or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. So they're trying to get you to take this experimental vaccine, and they don't know what's going to happen.
No, they don't know what's going to happen, and stuff like this comes out every other day too. Like Israel, likely linked between this company and the heart of
And this is stuff that clinical
health
trials
information.
are designed to catch,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the early stages where things start to happen. And if somebody's having an issue, they can document it, get that person medical attention as soon as possible. And there is a strict process to document everything that happened, including a mitigation plan to either one, stop that from happening, or note that as a certain side effect. And they'll decide whether to stop the trial or
That's
exclude
exactly
persons with those risks from that particular clinical trial.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this guy was basically talking about, and how that there's been none. Like, about this stuff. We are the clinical trial right now, and they tell you that straight up front. I mean, maybe President Biden's or former Vice President Joe Biden won't tell you that.
No,
but
he barely knows what day it is.
No, he doesn't. And apparently he also thinks that you know what, we'll get into this in a minute, but
I think I know exactly what story you're gonna say.
Yeah, you think so? Oh my God.
think
I heard
so,
this
but
thing and I was like,
I'll-
the biggest
I'll
threat
wait.
in the US right now.
I'll
Like,
wait.
my God. Chris Curran, thank you so much for the $2. Says, I need this in John's angry voice. F Fauci.
F Fauci.
He has no name.
He wanted you to say the full word. I'm sure that the
He said F
YouTube was.
Fauci.
The FCC.
He wants you to say fuck Fauci. Come on, say it.
Fuck Fauci.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, John.
There you go.
Nathan Robinson for $5 says, Planet.
I apologize to the kids and to the parents.
They're all in bed. Planetus is a great anime about space debris and the garbage workers who clean them up. Sounds boring, but it's great. Probably top 20 for me. I've actually seen it, and it is really good. It's a little slow. It's a little slow burn, but it's actually really good, and it's about exactly what he's talking about. But that's awesome. That's a rare anime. I haven't heard that talked about in a long time. That's awesome. And I think I saw another super chat from Demajani. Thank you so much. This dude falsely looks like a scheming weasel. The definition of a herb. Also, the only science that is 100% is from the hub. Winking devil face. The hell's the hub? I'm confused.
Pornhub.
Oh my God. I don't visit that site.
Get a free week trial with every sign up.
I don't either, but I hear it
I didn't
mentioned
know.
in a lot of,
Yeah, but you're their producer
IT
now, so I'm sure.
documentation, so
Oh my God.
no, if you just, it takes up a lot of bandwidth on the internet, just saying.
Bobo Yogi for $2. Thank you so much. Says, I demand a crazy cat music video. Make us smile.
Crazy cat video.
That usually happens on Fridays. In my crazy cat videos that I dance to. So come by on Fridays for my good news. And you will see that. Stephen Otten for $5 says, good evening,
Hey,
Nina,
Steven.
Lorena, Fat Steven, John, and everyone in the chat. Well, good evening to you, Steven. Good to see you. And I see Tina's here. Where are you? Tina Bojan's here. All the money comes from the U.S. taxes, not the drug companies. It all comes from somewhere. And they're all getting rich while the rest of us are not.
Yeah.
That's a good one there, Sleek. Damaj and I for another $2. Any med information infomercial gives warnings. The jab, nope.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they do apparently they do make you sign those disclaimers. Like, just FYI, you are doing a clinical trial. This is a clinical trial vaccine that you are signing up for. That is why they are not liable, because you're literally signing your life away. when you do that.
Exactly.
Just in case you die or
You
get
can't
paralyzed in
sue
the face.
us. Well, you can try, but you know.
He
You
says he's a
signed it.
man of science.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
that.
exactly, Mary.
Martha.
I don't need the hub. I don't need the hub. Okay, so the other thing that I was gonna bring up, because I was like, what is this? I don't know if you saw this, John. I did send it to you, but I send you so many things.
More hub pictures.
So this lady's like, this is not even remotely true. And Biden says that terrorism is from white supremacy is the most lethal to the homeland today. He literally said that, you guys.
This fool.
Joint session of Congress, according to the intelligence community, terrorism from white supremacy is the most lethal threat to the homeland today. Not ISIS, not Al Qaeda, white supremacists. The joint session of Congress, according to the
So yeah, white supremacy.
All you fools clapping. No.
They're like, this is good news.
They're like, we like this. We liked it. No. I'm so sick and tired of Joe Biden and the like of them gaslighting minorities with this crap. Because that's exactly what it is. And they all clap like, isn't this just great? Isn't this just great? It's our fault. We're white. No, we're not white supremacists, but we're against white supremacy. Get the frick out of here.
It's crazy that they think that white supremacy is the
I didn't know it was that prevalent.
What?
You know, I didn't know.
I'm
This-
still confused
I couldn't
on-
tell.
I'm still confused on one thing. How is racism terrorism?
In this day and age, it is not. In the time period when the Tulsa massacre happened, it was because the country was different then.
Yeah.
The country was completely different then. The country, you had a group of people who were blatantly racist. You want to talk about systemic racism? It was really going on back then. That is not the case now. But the left needs a boogeyman in order to, you know, keep minorities disenfranchised and scared. So you don't vote let's put it this way. So you don't vote for something other than Democrats. Let's put it that way. Because right now, you know, conservatives and libertarians, they're both, you know, over in the evil pit as far as the left is concerned.
Oh,
That's the way that they control it. Why do you think every time it seems like in the press, it's white supremacy or it's some kind of trauma porn that's going on with respect to Hollywood when it comes to Black people and minorities? This is done on purpose.
Yeah, it is weaponized.
Exactly. It is weaponized. So they have to keep this up. So it's not really white supremacy. A lot of it is an excuse for Black underachievement because it's like, why should we even try because of Black supremacy? Now, back when Jim Crow was going on, it was, you know, you don't have the guts to compete. You don't have the intellect to compete. That was the narrative then. Now it's changed to, why even bother competing? You know, white privilege is just going to hold you back. Why do that? You know, and then they bring out the people that they can use. They don't bring out the success stories. They don't do that.
No,
they won't bring those out because they can't control that. But they'll bring the ones out that'll say, yes, white supremacy is, you know, the worst for us. And it's all white supremacy's fault and all that. No. That's what they do. It's disgusting and it's ridiculous. And these people are freaking shameless.
Well, I mean, it's crazy that your president, who is a white man, is coming out and saying that white supremacy is the biggest threat to the homeland right now. I mean, this is
Well, he's saying the intelligence was it the intelligence community? Or the
the intelligence community. Didn't they used to say that about militias? Now all of a sudden it's
now I don't know. Are they just considering militias white supremacy? I mean, it's like
I think they did it one time, but I guess if they're an armed Black militia, that's okay.
No.
Yeah, it's like really terrorism. I'm just trying to think of like how many instances do you actually have where somebody, you know, is saying they're a white supremacist and they're doing violence, you know, to I don't know. It just seems like such a rarity when it actually happens.
How many of these things out here have been hoaxes where it's supposedly done by white supremacists and they turned out?
You mean the
just
Juicy Smouye situation?
Yeah,
where,
Juicy Smouye.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
one person where they claimed that I think it was like
Bubba
something
Smoke.
that was done to a black church. Yeah, Bubba, him too.
Oh yeah, and the
Noose, where it was
NASCAR
just
guy
a
that was
rope.
like,
The
I
NASCAR
found
guy
a
with
noose.
This was a noose. It was just like, no, they
It's just a
tie
pulley.
that pull string to freaking use that. You dits. But no, it's like you want to be a victim and you want, your 15 minutes of fame or whatever, and you have too many people who won't push against that crap. They will think that it's okay. Well, I don't want to be called racist, so I might as well, go along with it. It's ridiculous. That's not how this works. You have to push back against this crap.
You do have to push back, and that's the thing though. Like, how do you push back against something like this, especially if you're white? Because I was reading the comments in that particular thread where he's saying that, and everyone's like, oh, look at all these white people in here, like, arguing against this. And it's like, how do you even fight against this narrative when basically they're going to call you a white supremacist because you disagree?
Here's the thing. So,
right.
Literally, I'm dead serious. You cannot entertain this nonsense. And that's why I like listening to a lot of Young Ripa's videos when he talks about this. You can't entertain that nonsense.
Yeah, you can't.
At all, because they are expecting you to fall in line due to guilt. They expect you to be guilty enough to roll along with that. They expect you to do that. They're going to use it against you. They're going to try to guilt you into submission, and you can't do that.
Yeah,
because it doesn't stop. So I was telling somebody, they were like, well, if I stand up, I'll be called a racist. I said, well, are you racist? They said, no. I said, well, then what's the problem? You tell them either show me proof that I'm racist or shut the heck up.
Exactly. And Chris
But
Coran
there are
agrees
people
for
that are
$2.
afraid.
Says Lorena's preaching the truth, and she is. It's true. Sorry,
you.
John. What were you going to say?
No, there are people that are, just because they don't want to be lumped into that crowd. It's kind of like this high school mentality stuff where it's like people still are like in freaking high school. Like they don't want to be in they don't want to be in the minority, right? They don't want to be in that crowd. So we want to be with the cool kids, or we want to, it's just that type of mentality where they're just afraid, like people are just afraid to stand up, and actually have like their own opinion. They're just these people that just go along with whatever, it's like they don't want to be in that group, so it's like, well, we'll just agree with that. It's like when they don't even have any real opinion of their own. They're just afraid. Like they're just afraid to be, again, it's all out of fear. It's not, and that's what I'm saying. It's just not a genuine, real opinion that they have. They're doing the stuff. It's like, remember when the guy went up to that girl who was running and said, take a knee for BLM or something.
Oh yeah.
There was
and it's like happening.
And he's got her on camera and stuff, and she doesn't want to be, she doesn't want to look like she's a racist or whatever for not kneeling or whatever they're gonna say, or that you don't support black people or something. Like,
dude, the National Guard
she just dropped that knee faster than it's like, come on.
The National Guard did that though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like what kind of precedence is it setting when you have the president saying this and then you have the National Guard taking a knee, It's just so bad.
It's disgusting, but this is the kind of people that you mostly have, one floating around either in Washington or in big tech. And all the companies are like, we support, Black Lives Matter, not even realizing that Black Lives Matter initially was a peaceful organization that was put together to address over policing in Black neighborhoods. And it was a thing to peacefully bring together the community and the police to come together with solutions. That movement got hijacked to the money hustle that you see today. And how many of them have gotten rich off of that?
Yeah.
Plenty
of them.
Plenty of them have gotten rich off of that. So it's disgusting. It's embarrassing. But you know what? When Trump was in office and wasn't entertaining that crap, then you're a white supremacist. You're this. You need to disavow white supremacy. Are you going to disavow white supremacy? You're gonna. It's like every freaking day.
Oh my
that
God, it was
going on.
every other day. And it's
Every
like,
other day it was going on. But these are the same people who think it's okay to call Tim Scott and Uncle Tom because he doesn't agree with you.
John, don't you have a video about like how many times he was asked to denounce white supremacy? I think you had something.
Yeah, I made
like
it
that.
a while ago, but yeah, it's it was quite a few times throughout the years of his presidency. I mean, even before he was elected, I think it's like, how many times does a guy have to disavow white? It's like once, but they do that. They just put it out there, right? They put it out there because they know that every time they do, they're putting it in the minds of people that Trump, he must have said something where he was a white supremacist, or even just associating the term white supremacist in a question with Trump, is not helpful to him. So it's like, they're just that's why they did it so many times. It was, it's just ridiculous. I mean, how many times does a guy have to say, I disavow white supremacy? Like,
it was insane.
It's ridiculous. And I just have to say, as someone who, like, my grandparents grew up in the freaking Jim Crow South, in the deep South, and stories that they would tell me. My parents didn't stay in the South because of racism and because of Jim Crow. That's why they left and they came up north, which is what, a lot of people had started to do from 1920. They just, showed up in the late 70s, which is a lot later. And they would tell me stories of what happened, where they have to deal with people who were blatantly racist. And they said, you know what? I'd rather deal with somebody who would honestly say that they were racist instead of somebody who's two-faced and tells me one thing and they behave the other way. And that's what Biden and his like are. They're like, we care about you. We really care about minorities. No, you don't.
No,
you
they
don't.
don't.
You just care about using them and throw them in the way.
Yep.
And you gaslight every single freaking chance that you get.
And he said, that one speech where he was was in a church or wherever, and he's like, they want to put you back in chains. It's like, come on.
Oh,
man.
I freaking remember that.
Come on.
I remember that. He'll drop and notice his dialect will change because he thinks that's what they should. That's what that's how Black people talk like. But I've also told conservative leaning people and libertarians, don't fall for this trap of having them accuse you of being racist. You push back against that.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a straw man argument, and you have to be more concerned with winning elections than being called racist. Who cares?
And I mean, like, you got to make fun of it too, because I feel like
you really do.
You got to just clown their ass, because, like, for example, with me and coincidentally, Seth Rogen that we talked about earlier, and how I was basically called, white knighting for a white supremacist when I, basically told him off on Twitter for going after Ted Cruz and calling him a fascist every 5 minutes. And people started calling me a white supremacist, white knight. And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm brown, but thanks, clown. Like, get out of here. Like,
proofer, shut the heck, shut. Shut
up. Like, the fuck? It's just so crazy to me. But some guy from Maine, thank you so much for the $1.99, says, I'll gladly lose my SIM card to Lorena.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's so sweet. And Vagabond Ninja for $5 says, Shelby Steele has written extensively on the change of racism in America, especially in his book, White Guilt. I have not read it. Have you read it, Lorena?
I have not, but I have read one from Walter Williams called, let's see, I think it's like White Supremacy and Black Rednecks. Something like that. I know it's Black Rednecks. It's one part of it, but I'm going to have to look it up. But that's an excellent book. I've heard of Shelby Steele, but I haven't read that one.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to maybe put that on the list at some point. I have a giant book I have to read by Kai, but I'll get to it.
But yeah, Walter Williams is like a decorated economist.
Hey, Rhino, good to see you.
Amazing books.
Yeah, they intimidated her to drop a knee. Fat Steven, I do you have to go now?
I sadly do, yes.
Okay.
Thank
Do you
you for
want to tell
having me.
everyone where they can find you before you leave us?
Well, I have my parole meeting at 9 a.m. No, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Fat Steven Seagal. You can pretty much find me anywhere. Thank you for having me.
Of course. His links for his Twitter, and for his YouTube channel is in the description down below. So everybody subscribe. He does
Hi,
amazing
Steven.
comedic stuff all the time. And I love Fat Steven's company, and they have a great show together. They're partners in crime, just like John and I are partners in crime. Had a lot of good interviews on Lorena's channel. The lunch table, I think, and the after school special.
Yes.
So lots of cool stuff. Definitely check them out. Thank you for joining us, Fat Steven, and
Have a good one, John.
Hey.
Yeah, Fat
Hi,
Steven, I was
dude.
gonna say sorry, I was gonna wait till Nina was done, but yeah, have a good one, man, and we'll see you next time around.
You too, man. Take it easy. Goodbye, Chad.
Zelina for $2.99 says people are afraid to lose their jobs. That's true too. They are, especially the doctors that we spoke of earlier.
Oh yeah.
Before we wrap up the show, I did forget to bring up one thing with regards to Fauci, and we'll just quickly go over it. And that's the fact that he's basically kind of getting canceled too. Like Fauci's upcoming book was scrubbed on Amazon and Barnes and Noble amid backlash. So as this whole thing was coming out with the email, they basically scrubbed his book from Amazon. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think he's going to be canceled? Do you think he's going to actually see any sort of consequences about anything that he's doing?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. He
He's got
seems like
too
he's
many. Yeah, he seems like he's Teflon right now.
he's protected. It
He
feels
seems like he is, but at the same time, why now? Like, why? Because it seems like it's kind of happening with the Bill Gates thing too. Like Bill Gates is kind of getting thrown under the bus as well. Now here's Fauci being kind of thrown under the bus. So I feel like there's something going on, but who benefits is the question, right? It's always like that's usually the question you have to ask yourself is who benefits. And I don't know who benefits from Fauci's downfall. I mean, a lot of people would because he's the most top paid guy in all of the government. And like he gets more paid than president. So I don't know. His downfall could be, I don't know.
But what I would say, and I kind of look at it from the standpoint of remember all the lockdowns and everything that were going on, and we have to double mask up, we have to not open the beaches, not open the theaters, all of that. Then Biden gets elected. Then all of a sudden you see states who were dead against opening stuff up slowly start to open things up. Makes Biden look good. So it doesn't matter how many people he's got to run that bus over to make himself look good. He's going to do it. And I think this is part of the plan. Fauci is one of the fall guys. It makes him look good because they've got to get the economy back up and moving, and of course relaxing restrictions. Like for example, here in Pennsylvania, they were dead set on trying to keep us locked down. Biden gets elected. All of a sudden, oh, now we're going to talk about opening things up and and all of that. It's like, oh, that's not a coincidence. This is done on purpose. And a backside of that is kind of like DeSantis was basically proven right.
Yep.
He kept Florida open, for the most part, because, people needed to work, people needed jobs, people needed to provide, for their families. And Florida depends on a lot of tourism, which they still haven't gotten back, especially from overseas travel. They couldn't afford to keep things, locked down. Again, they had some common sense policies that were, out there. You still had to wear masks in certain areas and all that, but it wasn't this pervasive environment of fear that was going on.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And it kind of started catching on too, like, Texas, and then I think Georgia, not Georgia. Where was
I
it?
think Alabama did too.
Alabama. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a bunch of places started to.
It's amazing how quickly the South opened up.
Well, it's like they were all waiting to see, like, well, are they going to start dropping dead? And when people didn't stop dropping dead, they were like, okay, well, open it up. Let's go.
I have to, because I think why, and this had like crossed my mind. The South has had to deal with a lot of epidemics, especially seasonal things like, yellow fever that would pop up, before you had, quinine or stuff like that. All of that stuff was seasonal.
Zika, yeah.
Yeah, all of dengue fever, all of that.
Yeah.
That would run rampant there. So they're used to epidemics breaking out and dealing with those sort of things. But I just find it interesting that just like the South seemed to be the ones that opened up quicker and pushed back against this nonsense. And there was even a point where I think it was at one point Biden was talking about, and he retracted, restricting travel from Florida.
Yeah.
to the northern states. Literally last December, I thought I was going to have to take a COVID test before I got back into the state of Pennsylvania. They were telling people,
are they not doing that anymore?
No, they got rid of that. This was in December, which was screwed up because Christmas holidays, a lot of people from the Northeast go to Florida. That's like every year that happens. So at that point in time, the Pennsylvania governor's like, well, if you return back from any of these states, basically any state south of Virginia, you have to take a COVID test when you come back. Which is like, now, are you freaking serious? But they got rid of that by the time I came back, because people were like, yeah, right, I'm going to go out and take a COVID test. I don't think so.
See, that's the one thing that you Americans have over our, like, the Canadians, because the Canadians are just kind of bend over. Like, literally, like, they'll be like, whatever, just, I don't care.
Okay, big brother.
Yeah.
Okay, government, whatever you say.
We still have all of that stuff. Like you still have to pay for your quarantine hotel. You still have to pay, like, it's ridiculous. You still have to do the 14-day. You have to get tested. You have to do all that shit.
That was New York. That was like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. They kind of try to do it, but there's too many people here on the right. So we're like, I don't freaking think so. So he couldn't really do that. But the other states did. And it was just like ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But I ran into so many people in the South who were like, F that COVID test. I'm not taking it.
Oh my God. See, that's amazing. That's amazing. I really wish that spirit would, encompass, first of all, everyone in your country. and then spread over to the rest of the world. Because I know, like, in Mexico, in Mexico, they're kind of like, and I always called, like, Canada, America Light, but now I feel like Mexico is more like America Light. So usually they copy what America does. And if they start, like, really, doing that, especially like what's going on in Texas, because there's a big border of the Mexican Canadian, or the Canadian Texan border and everything like that. If they really start to actually implement what's going on, I would be really, really happy, because otherwise they are not doing that right now. And it's not.
Yeah. With a lot of it, with a lot of the pushback are coming from the red states. And then you have the purple states like Pennsylvania is. It's kind of like, I want to say like maybe 55, 40. It's kind of split like that. So it's kind of like the purple states. That's why we have so much, fighting here in Pennsylvania. But the southern states, for the most part, except for the cities, because it gives a crap. They're mostly red states, which is why you see so much pushback going on down there. And in the Northeast, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, we're gonna stay in. We're not gonna go out.
Oh my God.
We're gonna double mask up.
That's what it's like in Vancouver, man. Like, I'm telling you, my mom was telling me that she went to one of her her eyebrow lady or something, and the eyebrow lady was telling her that she has clients that haven't left the house for a year, like, since it started. Like, they have not left their houses. Yeah, they get food delivered. They don't go outside. And then you have, like, people that my mom tells me about all the time, because she goes outside. So she's like, I go to the park and I see people wearing, like, biking around, and then they're wearing, like, 2 masks but no helmets. And she's like, I don't understand. Like, It's just like
I
the
don't.
mentality is just
It's oh god,
it's scary.
It's very scary.
It's
Yeah.
more scary than the actual virus, I think.
It
It's
is.
It
It's
like
like this.
people willing to just take it from the government. You know, that's
Right.
what scares me.
It's
Just
like what
bend over.
you talk about all the time, coronavirus. Like it's like,
Yeah.
dude, yeah,
I haven't used that
that's
in a while.
that's the real pandemic.
Which one? The what virus?
Moronavirus. Moron. Yeah.
Morano. No, but it's freaking true. It's just
It
like, well, the government wouldn't lie to us, right? I'm like, I've literally talked to relatives who are like, well, it was on CNN, so it must be true, right? No.
Seriously.
Here, watch this Project Veritas video.
Yeah.
See how you feel about CNN
Yeah,
after that.
well, they think I'm weird. I'm like, weren't you people supposed to be fighting against the man? Now the government is the man, and you just want to roll over? No. What happened to question authority? You don't want to do
like
that.
that's like one of the first things John and I talked about. Like, when did the government ever start like when was where was this compassionate government that has like now everyone's like, oh, they just want to care for you and they love you and they want the best for you, and it's like, where's this government been? Like,
Any government
the
that
man.
has the power to give you anything has the power to take it away.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't get that. But some people would rather just let the government, give them bread and circuses, and they're perfectly happy with it.
It's crazy. Gek812, thank you for the $5. Says, who benefits? Warmongers pushing next Cold War with China to keep money rolling in. Gates and Fauci liked to I'm guessing he means linked to lab in Wuhan. This info out early last year. Yes, it was. We've been talking about it on Internet Talk for a very long time.
Warmongering, administration. They're just like ready to just, start up the war machine again.
I mean, it's just crazy because so much of this, like John and I have just talked about so much of this stuff. So like everything that comes out, we're just kind of like, yeah. It's like we have that Alex Jones was right jar, and like everyone calls us conspiracy theorists and all that shit, and we know. Tom, I see you there. Hello. We're gonna start wrapping it up though, folks. It's been like 2 hours, and I really want to thank Lorena for being here. I know she's got a lot going on, and we gotta wrap the show up. So Lorena, again, thank you so much for being here tonight and talking to me, and we had a great time. I think it was a great show.
We had a fun time. Thank you so much for having me on. This has been great.
We definitely have to do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sorry, Lorena, that sorry that I was late. Did not mean to do that.
No worries.
I woke up. I'm like, oh my gosh, what time is it? And I look at the clock. I'm like, shoot.
We both said, I think maybe John overslept. Maybe. I hope he's all right.
I usually don't take naps, but after I had dinner, I was out.
You were out.
I know the feeling, man.
I'm just glad you were asleep. That's all I care about. That you're okay. That's it. That's good. Hetty's sending you kisses.
Thank you, Hetty, Nina, appreciate it.
Lorena,
thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. This is a blast. I love hanging out with you guys.
John was day drinking. That's what happened.
I wish.
Lorena, please tell everyone where they can find you.
Well, folks, you can find me, of course, on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. And, of course, you can find me on YouTube as well. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. on my channel, I have an interview with Comicsgate artist Zevius, which is going to be premiering. Yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. So please do catch that video premiere. On Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, of course, is my lunch table special, which I co-host with Fat Steven. We're going to have Runner Studios as a guest. Now that he's finally 18,
That's so cute.
We are
Runner.
going to interview him, of course, on my show. And on Sunday is the Welcome to Florida live stream, which we talk about all kinds of crazy stuff related to Florida. But what we are talking about on Sunday is the lovely, not woke yet, Simpsons part of Universal Studios Orlando. So we've
I
got
love
footage
that
from
place.
there, especially footage from the Quickie Mart. So we're gonna have
Nice.
fun talking about that.
I've never been to the Universal one. I've been to the Hollywood one.
Hollywood one.
Yeah. But one of these days, you know what? Maybe very soon, actually, in like probably the next month, I'm gonna go to Florida. Now that they're free as a bird.
Woo!
Going down there. Roger H, thank you so much for that thumbs up sticker, by the way. Thank you, everybody. I need that like freaking what's his name? Joe Biden thank you clip. Hetty says I like Florida stories.
Oh, thank you.
Somebody else said something funny. Oh, Vertical Horizon says I don't know who sleeps less, Tom or John.
No, I actually sleep pretty good usually, but
yeah, John sleeps. It's just at odd hours.
no, I'm getting back on schedule. Like I'm becoming a morning person. It's happening. So.
Oh no. I don't know if I can approve of that.
I love it. I love getting
still
up
a
early.
vampire.
It feels so good. I'm not going back to this wacky schedule that I've been on for the whole year so far.
We'll see. Okay, everyone. Oh no, wait. Tell everyone where they can find you. Weirdo.
Did she just call me a weirdo?
Yeah.
You most of you guys are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, John Talks, like it's
all his links are in the description.
Silly videos about Joe Biden usually and political stuff. So
and he's got an entertainment channel that I've been trying to get to 1K. So please subscribe to that one just in case. Just in case anything happens. We want to get that monetized. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's all in the description down below.
No, I appreciate all you guys, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Vertical Horizon, maybe it's Nina who doesn't sleep now that I think about it. Yeah, that's true. I don't sleep. I am not a vampire. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I will catch you guys. Wait, when will I catch you guys? Okay, Friday, Infinite Hope on my channel. It's always awesome. Next week, Infinite Talk will be on John's channel, and we'll be celebrating our 1-year anniversary. So that'll be fun. Yay!
All right.
Okay, so everybody have a good night. Thank you for all of you for being here, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.